Hello all. Uh, Today I'm going to briefly discuss the biggest money laundering case that is being investigated in over 80 or so respective countries into the allegations by an anonymous whistleblower with respect to the Panama Papers. See, Panama Papers, the name has come because it was released that one law firm in the Panama City of Central America, Mossack Fonseca, okay, Mossack Fonseca is alleged to have involved and became a mastermind in the creation of thousands of shell companies and on behalf of big corporates, top politicians of various countries, and also various others for illegal and illicit purposes and for diversion of monies. The investigation is going on in the respective countries, and though the law firm has denied any links uh, to date, but at least the funds diversion and all is being investigated with some 2 terabytes of information that they have received. One journalist has received from this anonymous whistleblower source about this big money laundering by this particular law firm. And the data was so big that it is humanly impossible for a single person to, because it is all only data, it has to be analyzed, segregated, and then understood. So he has to approach the international community of journalists, and all of them have come together to share the information, and and each have to going through all that relevant data, and that is how it was exposed. The thing is, it was sometime in 2015-16 it happened, and to date, even though uh, concrete evidence is still not pointed out in that form. See, this is the problem. All the big frauds and all that occur. The thing is, when the bottom line comes to the evidence, the investigating agencies are not in all cases are able to get solid evidence, that is facts and facts. Court will say nothing but facts, and without any doubt the evidence. So that without that nobody can be prosecuted on the basis of allegations. Even though from the data that has come, all the countries are making their own things. In some cases, some big people are also being arrested or investigated, and all this one. And the thing is, this money laundering has become so rampant across the world. And in this case, it is alleged that the firm is a specialist in the creation of the shell companies. I think I have explained to you what is a shell company. It has no face. We do not know who is the real owners and all these things, both through the shell company, both legal monies, but on which tax is avoided or money laundered, or even money is generated from other illegal activities like drugs or arms dealings or civil war assistance, things like that, and all terrorist activities and all also. So the thing is, with the real people are not visible in these shell companies. So some several Shell companies were created, and then the money is supposed to be laundered. And big business people, corporates, individuals, all these also make use of this channel to hide their riches away from the eyes of the government and other and the tax authorities. And there are several tax havens which I explained it earlier. Tax haven countries where the rules are lax, they don't go into deep, and they just keep a turn a blind eye to the activities of that shell company in that country. So that's the whole thing. So the point is regarding this one, there are huge materials till to date, and I have gathered some of these, mm, like the Panama Papers were leaked around April 2016 by an anonymous source to German journalists, and the international consortium investigative journalists have to be involved for uh, taking out the analyzing the data, and the leak amounted to 11.1 million documents. Can you imagine? 11.1 million documents. Hmm? And the leaks are listed to contain about 200,000 plus offshore companies that are the shell companies that are supposed to have been created through this law firm, Mossack Fonseca. Okay? Even though they deny. That's a different thing. So, the best thing about a shell company is, as I already explained, no one will ever find out who are the real persons behind. Offshore or shell companies are generally used to hide as well as provide anonymity. Okay? So, people make use of those mediums to hide their wealth. In this particular Panama Papers case, why it has become such a big issue and is still being investigated is, you see, big top politicians, leaders of some top countries, hmm, and big business people, all are supposed to have taken the help of this law firm, the creation of these shell companies. And one more thing, they do not directly approach these people. These people also, the law firm also does this activity, if proved, is doing this activity, if proved, through other middlemen, to other brokers, and all that. And so there also a middleman. Here, the perpetrator of the black money or illegal money or tax avoided money. Here is that alleged firm. And in between there are some brokers and other people who lobby between that and this. And so those people facilitate in opening of the shell companies. The law firm will facilitate through these brokers on behalf of these people. And that's how money is channeled. And they're kept in a way that is impossible. Or even if those monies are found, it's very difficult to prove that this fellow is one particular, this company or this individual or this corporate is responsible. It at times is very difficult to prove. So it has become a tremendous operation, and as you can see, if 11.1 million documents of data of 200,000 plus offshore companies means how much might have been channeled uh, through this money laundering business. So, despite all the precautions that we are taking and everything, uh, still the frauds are occurring, and basically the objective of all big uh, frauds and scams is nothing but money launder. That means divert the money. Okay, first earn the money either by illegal means, divert the money, or earn the money through legal means, but avoid tax through these mediums like shell companies, offshore countries, and all these are offshore tax havens and all. This one, this is still not stopped. See, it's very peculiar. When you go to a doctor, he will first diagnose, then he will try to stop and prevent the disease. Whereas when it is coming to our frauds, here we are ending up in only detection, and we are not able to stop or prevent the frauds. The detection means the detection will be fruitful only if there is adequate evidence, solid evidence to satisfy the courts of law. So, then of course the perpetrators will be brought to law, and whatever need to be taken, action will be taken and all that one. So, the thing is, here we are only ending up with the detection, not because we are not able to stop, we are not able to prevent. So fraud is occurring. So you start the detection and investigation, and you may or may not be able to prove to the satisfaction of the courts of law, or it takes a big legal process of years before the culprits can be brought to the book. So that's what is happening. Unlike doctor's profession, they are the first diagnose, then treat, then stop and prevent. It's not happening here. Okay. So the thing is, the data of these Panama Papers was so much that all this international consortium of journalists have to take the help of an Australian-based forensic IT software NUIX investigator that costed a fortune in order to sort, filter the documents and make some sense out of them, and to link the respective companies or individuals or whosoever it is to the alleged Panama Papers leakage. So it has become a very, very huge investigation, and now everybody, respective countries, they're trying to link with the data available to the persons concerned and trying to get concrete evidence before they can bring those people to the book. So, like that, this Panama Papers has become a very notorious money laundering issue. Okay, time only will tell the real truth behind the alleged leaks. Okay, and about all persons and corporates involved behind the shell companies, the association of the law firm, the sources and use of the various funds amounting to billions of dollars, okay, across the world, and alleged to have assisted about 300,000 companies across the globe. And so it is a huge, massive money laundering that is alleged to have taken place with the help of this law firm in Panama City of the Central America. Okay, so in fact, from in India, SEBI issued notices to 331 listed companies suspected to be shell companies and with illicit funds. Okay, then the SEBI, then the Enforcement Directorate and Serious Fraud Investigation Office and IT department, everybody in India have launched a massive investigation into these shell companies and diversion of funds and the illicit funds getting into those shell companies. Okay, and so these are becoming a big, massive investigation, and billions of dollars, and the big people are involved. Uh, in fact, I came across a thing where Panama paper details led to IT crackdown on Bharat Hotels Group, that is in India. Okay, Mm. The Bharat Hotels case was likely to become one of the biggest detection of the Papers cases in India. Okay, Mm. So like this one, uh, as the saying goes, no smoke without fire. There cannot be fire. There cannot be smoke in the sky without some fire somewhere. Okay, but at times it becomes difficult to uh, go to the bottom to find out uh, where is that fire, where it has started, who started it, and all that one. The smoke is there, so something has happened. Only it has to be deeply investigated and brought to book. And when big politicians, heads of some nations, the big corporates, and all involved, we know it took ages. First to prove, next to bring them to book. Okay, because it is not a simple matter of just arresting a single individual in some case. Okay, so it has become such a big issue. And the thing is, the Panama Papers refers to more than 11 million documents from the files of Mossack Fonseca. Okay. Mm. In a press release, the Central Board of Direct Taxes said undisclosed foreign assets of over 1,000 crores of rupees had been detected during the searches. But officials said the amount would be several times that figure and that the Bharat Hotels case was likely to become one of the biggest detection of the Panama cases in India. I'm talking about the 1,000 crores already in the case for Bharat Hotels uh, group. Okay, so uh, it is such a massive non-laundering case. So as we have discussed, and there is another. See, this all the file somewhere. Panama Papers, Europol links 3,500 names to suspected criminals. Law enforcement agency analysis uncovers probable matches connected to terrorism, money laundering, and organized crime. Almost 3,500 individuals and companies in the Panama Papers are probable matches for the suspected criminals, including terrorists, cyber criminals, cigarette smugglers, according to a document seen by the Guardian. Okay, so like this one, in every country, they are having. Okay, the use of offshore structures is legal. Critics have long alleged that they can also be used to facilitate improper or unlawful behavior. Okay, so the investigation is going on, and obviously something drastic has happened with respect to money laundering. Okay, and creation of shell companies. But how far the law firm is involved, as alleged by the whistleblower who opened this Pandora box in the first place, to a single journalist, from where it went to the international community of ICJI Journalist International to investigate into these things. So these are all the lessons uh, we are only we have to learn how to stop and how to prevent. Unfortunately, when the top people are involved, whether in government and politics or corporates, it is not as easy as said to stop and prevent. Only thing is, once the lead blows, you only investigate, and if you get adequate evidence, you bring them to the book, otherwise the case dies. So these brief words, I'm sure uh, you will have got some idea about this Panama Papers, which actually also have much year or two back only, I have written an article on this one in my website, uh, fraudsdetection.com. Okay, with these few words, we'll move on. And from now on, I think it is better to take an example of someone, because there's day in day out there are so many frauds that happen, that are happening, that will happen. Okay, to discuss what is involved. The Panama Papers is equal to the biggest money laundering. Okay, how it happened and other things are all subject to proof. But again, I'm saying all this is, as far as the law firm is concerned, its involvement is alleged, and those allegations they're naturally denied. So that is something different. But since the law firm is not directly involved with the perpetrators, as I told you earlier, but through some middlemen, all the countries are finding some links of the people whose names have come out of this huge, massive amount of data, links to offshore companies. So those creation is by this is the allegation. That is a separate aspect. But there is truth of money laundering by big people. That is quite sure. As investigated, and just as I showed you this Bharat group case, which our country is investigating, and all these things. Okay, so with these brief words, I will close today's discussion and we'll move forward. Thank you.